This is the vlog for November 9th, 2018, and my sister is due any day now to have her baby. And my parents and I are waiting anxiously for the phone call, hopefully to let us know that it's happening, sort of before or as it's happening, not well after the fact. Although, even if it's after the fact, I'm sure it'll be fine. I feel like this is the reveal of a big film because my sister has not shared any information about what she's going to name her daughter. So, I'm just praying for everything to go fine, 10 fingers, 10 toes, and all that sort of thing. In the meantime, however, I've had something to keep me plenty busy, as my bloodshot eyes may indicate. I used to, when I was a very young kid in my elementary years, I would be very grossed out by people pulling down their eyelids like this. And now I'm really not. But I apologize if you are. I had a beer with dinner. I had a very tall glass of beer, which was about half of a very large bottle. And that beer is, I want to say, something about 8.5% alcohol by volume, so I'm a little bit tipsy. It's been about half an hour since I drank it, so I'm better now. But I'm going to be a little bit funny. Would have been July, I think, come to think of it. Probably early July was when TennoCon was held. TennoCon is Digital Extreme's Warframe convention, and this one was their biggest yet. It was very, very impressive, and they unveiled their plans for this year and next, and one of their first big plans was an update called Fortuna. Fortuna is a colony on Venus. Venus in the real world is a burning hot, inhospitable ball that rests in our solar system far closer to the sun than Earth and cannot be settled. But in the far-flung future of Warframe, with its nearly magical science fiction setting, it was terraformed by the Orokin, the abusive precursors to the civilizations that exist in the game's world, in the game's current time. The Orokin created huge, extremely cold storms where the surface could be settled safely and humans could live. And their technology remains, even though the Orokin Empire itself is gone. And the cultures that have sprung up in this post-Empire universe, solar system of Earth, are curious. The Corpus have been a long-standing antagonistic force for the Tenno, the characters of Warframe that players play as. The Corpus are devoted to profit and to the exploitation of any resource or person that they can get their hands on. They are violent and will seek to destroy any interlopers into their territory at the slightest provocation, which means they start shooting anytime they see a Tenno, anytime they see a Warframe. And that's really all they were. I mean, there's some story here and there, but that's all they've really been for a very long time until this update, which has given them quite a lot more exposure in regards to one of their indebted races that they have enslaved, the Solaris. Solaris are humans who have replaced parts of their bodies with industrial strength cybernetics in order to withstand and in fact flourish on Venus's surface with its mix of terrible heat and terrible cold. So the problem is that the Corpus don't sell the cybernetics, they only rent them. And if you fail to meet their standards for whatever it is that the contract that you sign with them, they can repossess your body parts. The most extreme variation of this repossession is called brain shelving, where they take the only organic part of you that is left, which is your brain, put it in a box that keeps it alive, if you can call it living, and in basically darkness with no ability to look around, no senses, nothing but your own mind. It's a terrible, terrible notion, and in this game world, they've done it to countless people. But as the Tenno, as one of the users of Warframes, you can make a difference. You can start helping them improve their lives. You can buy off some of their life debts that they owe the Corpus, and you can fight back against their Corpus overlords and ruin their plans and help them live better lives. And in doing so, you can have a lot of fun. First of all, the Orb Valis, which is the actual playable area that you can explore, is huge. Warcraft doesn't generally have a lot of open world areas. It has one, or previously it had one, which was the Plains of Eidolon, which, while big, is only a fraction of the size of the Orb Valis. The Orb Valis, I think, would probably take 15 minutes to cross from one corner to the other with one of the faster means of travel, which are archwings. But the far more stylish and fun way to get around is with a little thing called a K-Drive. K-Drive sounds like something that you plug into your computer for extra storage, but on Venus, in the Orb Valis, it's a hoverboard. And it is so much fun. The reason my eyes are bloodshot is I've been trying to do tricks, and my eyes have been trying to keep up with all the things I'm doing in order to earn tricks. And it reminds me, I've played a little bit of the Tony Hawk Underground games back in the day, and it reminds me of a very interesting version of that. Much more gorgeous environment, much more dangerous things to run into by accident if you're not careful. But, excuse me, hiccups. I was trying to track down the new Garuda Warframe, which I've spoken of previously, and build it the old-fashioned way. But I was getting impatient, and more to the point, I couldn't get a single one of these certain items called toroids. There were 3 different varieties that I needed a few of for each part of the Warframe, and I couldn't find them. I couldn't get them to drop. I spent a lot of time in these different areas getting enemies that I thought were supposed to drop them. Nothing doing. So I had a lot of platinum saved up. I have less now. And I spent it on unlocking Garuda, and I'm having a lot of fun with her. She's a very strange frame. She's tanky, but she doesn't play the way Valkyr, which is my other favorite frame, plays. Valkyr is all about rage and getting all up in the middle of a group of enemies and tearing them apart with invincible melee attacks. And Garuda is about surgically destroying individual foes and turning them into resources to protect herself. She is very self-sufficient, and she's much more useful against ranged attackers than Valkyr is. Valkyr really needs to get in close. She has tools to bring enemies to her or get to enemies quickly. But Garuda has the ability to dash around, but once she gets somewhere, she usually sort of sets up a defensive perimeter and is able to handle enemies very effectively from there. Definitely very useful and very in a lot of different circumstances, and I just need to sort of build up her full potential to see that happen. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's so much to do. You can tag animals to save them, and basically it's this weird sort of conservation effort. There are mechanical fish that you can fish for. There's mining like there was in Plains of Eidolon, although they improved the mining system. And the K-Drive thing is just a blast. It's so much more fun than I thought it was going to be. I can't wait to start doing it more. I bought my first K-Drive today and started decorating it. Oh. I want to go play it. That's how you know it's good. Is I spent 10 minutes talking about it, and all it has made me want to do is play it more. So I'm Eric Spornitz, and tomorrow will be better.